the author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. Join my VIP program or my Power English course at effortlessenglishclub.com. effortlessenglishclub.com. Speak fluently, faster. Speed. Improve your English faster. Learn faster. Succeed faster. In any part of life, everybody wants to succeed faster. Everybody wants to improve faster. Everyone wants to learn faster. So what's the secret? What's the secret? The secret is something I call the engine of effortless English. I describe this in my book, The Engine of Effortless English. And it's the engine that will help you speak faster, fluently, effortlessly, to help you speak English effortlessly. That means fluently, feeling relaxed and confident. It's that combination of all of those things. That's what I mean by effortless English. It means you speak fluently and you feel relaxed and confident while you're speaking fluently. So there's an emotional part, how you feel, and then there's the performance, speaking fluently. Both important, because one of the main problems I hear from you, and we're live right now on YouTube, so hello, everyone who's saying hello on YouTube live. I will answer your questions later in the show. So right now, those of you watching live, please be patient, relax. I'm going to talk about this topic, and then I'll get to your questions later in the show. So one of the main problems people tell me all the time, AJ, I feel nervous when I speak English. AJ, I feel embarrassed when I speak English. I feel shy when I speak English, right? And of course, they feel hesitant and they have these problems getting the words out. And part of that's an emotional problem and part of that's a fluency problem. So we have to take care of both so that you speak effortlessly faster, getting faster results. So in my book, Effortless English, I make an analogy. An analogy is it's a metaphor. It means we compare it to something else. Let's imagine two cars. One is an old, slow car. We call these junky cars. Junky meaning kind of old, falling apart, not nice. Old and slow, an old junky car. Now, if we imagine that learning English is like a car, what does that mean? Well, it means that there are kind of two important parts to the effortless English system and to learning English. And the two parts are the fuel and the motor. So we're going to describe learning English as a car. And we're going to talk about the two big main parts that give the power, that make the car go. There's two things that make a car move, that give the power. That's the motor, right? The engine. And then, of course, every engine needs fuel. Without gasoline, without fuel, the engine will not go. The engine will not start. So it needs these two things. In the effortless English system, the motor, that's the method. That's the learning method, the learning techniques that you use. So with an old, slow method, what are the techniques? Studying grammar, memorizing grammar rules, memorizing vocabulary lists, taking tests, using textbooks, sitting in a classroom on your butt, not moving, getting bored, getting stressed, often listening to a teacher who cannot speak English well, often listening to a teacher who speaks more in your language than English during the class. That's a bad motor. It's a bad technique. It's a bad method. So what's the fuel? What is the fuel? When I talk about fuel or gasoline for learning. That's your emotion. That's your energy. That's your motivation. So now you can see we have these two very important parts for learning English. For any system, anyone, anywhere. There, on one hand, there's the emotion, the motivation, the energy that you have, or that the teacher has, or that the whole group has. And then there's the methods and the techniques, which is the motor. So the fuel and the motor, the energy and the method. They both must be great to learn fast, to learn quickly as possible, to achieve your result, to get success as fast as possible. You need both of them to be powerful. Very, very, very important. The problem with schools, the problem with the old methods is they're both terrible. They're both terrible. The techniques, the methods are terrible. So it's like having an old broken motor, right? You're using grammar, you're trying to memorize grammar rules, you're taking all these tests, you're using textbooks, trying to memorize vocabulary lists, all those terrible things. They don't work very well. They're very, very, very boring and very, 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 very slow. Not effective. An old, junky, bad motor. But the other problem with schools and the traditional methods is that the fuel is also very, very bad. Meaning there's low energy. I have taught in schools. I have seen schools. I was a student for a long time, part of my life. And 99.99999% of classes are super low energy. What do people do? They just sit in their chairs, low energy, and listen to the teacher talk and take some notes. Maybe occasionally they get up and do a little activity where they chat with each other for a few minutes, doing some activity from a textbook. Low energy and boring. As a result, many learners become bored in general with English, so that even when they're trying to learn at home, they're kind of bored. They've got low energy, they're tired, they're stressed. This is all like bad fuel. It's like gasoline that's really, really, really old and has dirt in it, right? It's low energy. So this is what schools have. You've got this dirty, horrible, low energy gasoline, and you're putting it into an old, broken engine. Therefore, the learning, the success, the improvements, very, very, very slow. So effortless English is like an F1, Formula One race car. Now here's the good news. The techniques, the method, I already do that. In my courses, I've recorded my courses. I already am using a fast, strong, powerful motor. I describe that in my email course. I describe it in my book, all of the techniques and methods of effortless English. They're powerful. The great thing is when you use my courses or my lessons, you don't have to worry about that. Just listen. I'm already doing it for you. I've already planned it. I've already recorded and created those lessons to use the best possible techniques. However, you have a job, and that's the fuel. Because I can try to inspire you, I can try to get you motivated, but really that's your job. You must do this every day. See, a great method, even a great method like effortless English, if you put in bad fuel, right? If you're negative, if you're low energy, then you still will not get the best results. You still will not improve very quickly. So you have a responsibility too, and that is to raise your motivation and raise your energy as high as possible. You must energize yourself. Now, in my Power English course and also in my book, I give you lots of techniques about how to do this. In my podcast, I tried to give you motivation and inspiration and to energize you as much as I can. So I'm doing everything I can to try to help you get energized, get excited, be enthusiastic, be positive. But still, in the end, you must also do this. You must try. You must get yourself energized. You've got to be enthusiastic. You've got to be motivated and inspired. You create the fuel. I'm giving you the method, but you create the fuel. You must do this. And it's not just English. It's not just effortless English. It's anything you want in life requires this, okay? To succeed, you must have this. You want to start your own business? Well, you better be very, very, very high energy. If you're low energy with your business is going to fail. If you're negative, you're going to fail with business. Or if you want to just change careers and be a freelancer, or you have some other big dream and something difficult you want to do, you better be energized. You must be energized and focused and positive and motivated and inspired about it every single day. That's what winners do. What you put in is what you receive. What you put in is what you get out. If you put in low energy, you get back low results, slow improvement. If you put in negative energy, negative emotions, negative attitudes, you get back failure. This is life in general. Whatever it is you dream about, whatever it is you want in life, it's like an investment. You've got to put in, and what you invest is not money. What you invest is emotion and energy and motivation and inspiration. And then what you get back is success and happiness and learning and growth and improvement. Now, the last thing is people ask me often, and then we'll come to the questions in just a second. But I already know one common question, so I'm going to answer it now because I get this question all the time. AJ, how do I motivate myself? How do I motivate myself? Because yesterday I was motivated, but today I'm not motivated. Or I was motivated last month, but now I'm not. And the thing is about motivation, it's a daily thing. It's a daily thing. It's, as I've said before in my podcast, it's like eating, right? You don't say, oh, AJ, I'm hungry today. I don't know why. Last month I ate a hamburger. Why am I hungry now? What's my problem? How can I not feel hungry anymore? Well, you got to eat. You got to eat every day if you want to feel good, if you want that physical energy. Or I'm thirsty. What should I do? AJ, I didn't drink yesterday. I didn't drink any water today. I'm thirsty. How can I feel better? Well, you got to drink every day. It's the same with motivation, okay? Just because you felt motivated last week and you felt excited about English last week, that does not guarantee that today you will feel excited, or tomorrow, or next week. If you don't make an effort, if you don't put in the energy. So every single day you build the habit of getting motivated. How do you do it? Well, you listen to motivational audios. Like this is why I'm doing this right now. It's why I'm giving you more podcasts and more shows for free to keep you motivated, because I know you need it every day. So listen to my podcast every day. If that motivates you, if that inspires you, if I energize you, then listen every day. And listen to other people too. Listen to other people in English, in your own language. Motivational speakers, people who are inspiring, people who are positive, people who have big success in their life, people who encourage you. And also get books. Read positive books, motivational books. Every day read a little bit in English, in your language, or both. You have to feed your emotions. You feed your body every day. Well, you have to feed your positive emotions every day too, because if you don't, guess what happens? Your emotions start going down. Your energy goes down. You become more negative. Because, the television is super negative. Movies are super negative in general. They're much more negative than positive. So if you're just watching movies all the time and TV and the news, which is super, super, super negative, if you're not making a big effort to listen every day to things that are positive and energizing, motivational, then your inspiration, your motivation, your positive energy, they are going to go down, 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 down. On the other hand, when you listen to this podcast every day, when you listen to other motivational speakers or motivational videos every single day, when you read something that is motivational or inspirational to you, that inspires you, that makes you feel positive and good every single day, then you will notice that day by day, your energy, your enthusiasm, your excitement, your energy, your confidence, they all start going up and up and up day by day by day by day. Then you will not need to ask me this question, AJ, what should I do? You won't need to. You'll know what to do because you'll be doing it every day. And then you just take that energy and you put it into English so that you're excited and enthusiastic and high energy every time you learn English, study English, listen to English, use English, speak English. High energy. And anything else in life that's important to you, starting your own business, graduating from school, getting a better job, whatever it is, you've got to put in more to get more back. This is like the law of life. And if you put in weakness and low energy, you get back very little. But when you put in a lot, you get back a lot. All right, let's go to our questions on YouTube live. We are live on YouTube today. So we've got live questions, live comments, lots of people commenting. So here's a good comment right here from Amina. It's the best way to stay motivated is to remember your dreams every second and read books. These kind of books, they help me a lot. I always stay motivated. Yeah, that's right. That's another thing you can do. So, you read, you listen, you watch videos, all these the things that are positive and inspiring to you. And you also remind yourself every day of your big dreams, your big goals. Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. I actually have a lesson about this called having big goals and dreaming big with English. Because if you just have small goals with English and you don't have a big exciting dream about using English, maybe using English to start a business or to travel the world or to do something great and fun and interesting for you. If you don't have that, then you get bored. It seems like it's not very exciting. But when you do have that, big reasons for learning English, and you imagine them every day, that also motivates you, keeps you motivated. So whatever those big dreams are, remember them. Remember why you're doing it. Because sometimes the small steps can be boring. The small steps to achieve your goal, some of those small steps are not fun. Okay? Some of those small steps are boring. Some of those small steps are difficult. So in the middle of those boring times, those difficult times, you got to remember why you're doing it. Remind yourself daily. Good suggestion. A little drink of water here. Okay, thanks for your help to help me avoid the propaganda on TV and the media. From Tajeldin. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's a very important thing to do. If you do have some big dreams or goals in life, speak English effortlessly and fluently, start your own business, just make more money, have a better job that you enjoy more, those kind of things, whatever it is, your big dreams, travel the world. You need to focus on those big positive things. And if you start watching too much media, a little is okay if you have a few things you like and enjoy. And you can use some TV and movies for learning English, okay. But overall, Most of your time should be spent on these positive things that get you motivated and inspired every day. It's just like eating. You must do it every day. I didn't say sell your TV now. Yeah, you could sell it or throw it away. I don't have a TV. I listen to your podcast every day, says Hong Mai. Good. Very good. Well, I hope that I can help. I'm doing my part. I hope that with my podcast, I can motivate you and inspire you daily. And there's many of my old podcasts too. So there's many audios and videos you can listen to. They're free to keep yourself motivated. This is why I talk about these positive, energizing topics and why I try to have high energy when I'm talking to you, because I'm doing my best to energize you, to help you stay motivated daily, give you the positive food that your emotions and your brain need so that you will succeed at everything you want. English, yes, but everything else too. Okay, looking at our questions. And a few people are repeating this main point of the best way to be motivated is to remember why you are doing what you are doing. Remember the reasons. Yes, that's back to the first comment, it's the same idea, right? That's exactly right. Remember why you're doing it. Remember the big reasons, the deeper reasons. Because sometimes, again, we forget sometimes. We get too focused on the day-to-day that sometimes maybe it's not so fun. Some days are good, some days are not. And we can sometimes forget those big reasons, the deeper meaning, the deeper purpose, the huge dreams that really excite us. Sometimes we forget that, or it seems far away. We need to remind ourselves, and that should be a daily thing, just like eating. Okay, so here's an interesting question from Emmanuel Esposito. Hey AJ, I have a question. I know it's a common one, but I want to ask anyway. My cousin has been using your lessons, but at times he is depressed and has low energy. How can he deal with this? Is there any way? Well, he can do everything I just said. Here's the problem. And thank you, Emmanuel, for your question. We can do this for ourselves. So Emmanuel probably has no problem, right? But he's concerned about another person, his cousin, right? And so sometimes I do get this question a lot, where somebody is an Effortless English member. They're fine, they're high energy, they're learning, they're improving fast, but then they have a friend or a cousin or a sister or a brother or some other person in their life. They care about them. They want to help them. They say, oh, you should try Effortless English. You should do this. They want to share their success, right? Emmanuel probably wants to share his success with his cousin. Wants his cousin to also be successful and happy and motivated and energized. And so this is a common thing, for good people. We want to share our successes with people we care about. And so so that's the question, how can I do it? Because this other person, the problem is they're negative and they're depressed. What can we do? That is a hard challenge. That's a difficult challenge. For yourself, you can do it. For another person, it's difficult. It's just like, it's very similar that if you have someone in your family or a friend who's unhealthy, they eat bad food all the time. They're constantly eating junk food only. They never exercise. They're very unhealthy. And they're depressed, low energy, and you want to help them, right? You are healthy, you have good energy, you know what to do, you know many ideas to help them eat better and exercise, but you can't. You try to do it, you try to talk to them, and they just stay negative and they don't change, and it's very frustrating because in the end, finally, you cannot force them. They are an independent person, they have freedom, free will of their own. So you can't just grab them and force them to eat the good food, and you can't force them to exercise every day. I mean, you can give them books, and you can talk to them, and you can try to persuade them, and you can use great persuasion techniques and leadership techniques, and I teach all of this in my VIP program. But I was saying this last night. I was talking to my VIP members last night. We had a similar question, and I said, but in the end, nothing is 100% for sure. Persuading or leadership, right? Even the best public speaker cannot persuade everyone 100%, never, right? Even the best speakers, maybe they only persuade 80% or 50%. 50% is great. So, Emmanuel or anyone else, if you have someone in your life, you can try. You can certainly try. I mean, I think the best thing to do is to show them with your own success. That's the first thing to focus on, is you become super successful. You be super positive. You be super motivated. You be inspired. And you achieve very high levels of success. In this case, with English or with anything else. So you show them. So when they look at you, they see, wow, that's incredible. And when you do that, some people will automatically start asking you questions. And, can you help me? How are you doing it? Because they see your success, they want it, and then they're more open to listen. They're more open to listen because they see you are doing so well. However, we have to be honest, not everybody will. Some people, sadly, will not. Some people, there's nothing you can do. You can show them, you can tell them, you can do everything possible, and they still will just be low energy and depressed. They will still complain. They won't take action. So you have to, do your best, but you also have to be ready to let go sometimes. So I like the idea of leading by example. It means you show them. I think that's the best thing to do, because then you get the highest success, and when you're successful, you can help more people. But with just, one specific person, try to tell them, but if they won't listen, then just stop. Just stop. And believe me, I've had this experience in my own life too with other people. I know it's frustrating. It is very frustrating. Okay, another good question. Ahmed says, thank you for your videos. It's really useful. Please, I want your podcast. How can I get it? Okay, that's a good point. So my podcast is my audio podcast, no video, audio only. Now, all my videos also go to my podcast. This video will be on my podcast. Some people will just listen to it. They won't watch it. However, my audio listeners get extra stuff. It's because recently, starting about a couple weeks ago, I started doing some daily audios. So no video, only audio, while I'm walking and I'm talking about casual topics, talking about the weather, talking about food, talking about Japan, where I am right now, just anything, talking about the World Cup. So lots of variety of vocabulary and topics, very casual, very relaxed. But that's a lot of extra English listening every day, and hopefully topics that you think are interesting. So I recommend, if you're mostly watching me on YouTube, definitely you should get my podcast, my audio podcast, because you'll get a lot of extra stuff if you do that. So I'm going to tell you the very easy way with just one app. And I'm going to put it on the screen right now. Okay, it's called the TuneIn app. This TuneIn, 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 the TuneIn app. I'm recommending this one because it's easy, because they have apps for all devices, okay? They have an Apple app, they have a Windows app, they have an Android app, they have an Amazon app, they have apps for cars, so basically everything. So that's the easy way. Get the TuneIn, just do a search on your favorite app store on your phone. TuneIn, all together, no space, one word, TuneIn, TuneIn, and it's a free app. Put it on your device, your phone, whatever, and then in the app, search for Effortless English Podcast. Effortless English Podcast. You'll see it and then just hit subscribe. Just subscribe to it and that's it. You'll get it automatically. Every time I have a new show, it will go into your phone or your computer or whatever. That's it. The TuneIn app. There are other apps too. There are lots of different ones. Podcast Addict for Apple users. iTunes, of course, is the common one. There's lots of them, but TuneIn is simple because I can use that one for all devices. All right, here's a good question. I want to practice English speaking, but there's no one who can practice English with me. Please tell me, how can I practice English? Follow me on Twitter. Send me this same message on Twitter. I will retweet to all of my followers. And some of them will reply to you. And then you can connect with them. And you can chat and practice on Skype or WhatsApp or whatever you want to do. That's how Effortless English family members around the world find each other. Just through my Twitter. Really easy. So my Twitter is just my name, ajhoge. AJHOGE. My name, ajhoge. Send me a tweet. Tell me, how do I find other people I want to practice with other Effortless English family learners? And I'll retweet it. I'll resend it to everybody who follows me. And that's how you do it. That was an interesting question. I want to be a good doctor of English. So tell me, what should I do? I'm 18 years old. So I'm guessing you mean like a PhD in English. You won't like my advice because my advice would be don't do it. Okay? I think a PhD in English is a huge waste of time. Massive waste of time. Especially if you're wanting to teach people how to speak English. Don't waste your time getting a PhD. I mean, good Lord, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's at least 8 years of school. Oh, what a waste. So here's what you do. Become a great English speaker. Become super fluent and clear. Listen to my podcast. If you can get my courses, get them. If not, use television, use movies, books, podcast, every audio you can in English. Practice every single day. If this is what you want in life, this is your big dream, your big goal, you should be doing this 6 hours a day, 7 hours a day, 8 hours a day. I mean, this should be your focus in life. Become excellent at English, spoken English and written English. The real skill, not some paper that says you're a PhD doctor. Become great at English, then you will be able to teach people very well. And you won't need to waste your time. And you'll do it faster than 8 years, okay? You'll do it much faster than 8 years if you do this every day. If you spend 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours a day, you can do this in a few years. You'll get really good. And then, do whatever you want to do. I don't know what you want to do with English. But if you want to teach people, then just, open your school or whatever. That's my advice. Now, if you're wanting to do the academic stuff and get the PhD and work in a university, don't ask me for that advice because I don't like all that stuff. Yeah. I'm the wrong person. Sorry. Well, see, this is a good point. Now, this is good. I like this comment. It's a really good comment. It's a very good point. Dalal says, "Hello, AJ. I'm excited now. I'm improving gradually, but I'm happy." Excellent. Fantastic. And that is an excellent comment. Because a lot of people, we get so focused on speed. Oh, I got to improve fast. I mean, that's one of the most common questions I get. How can I improve faster? Faster. But I think Dalal makes a better point here, which is as long as you're improving gradually and you're happy, you're enjoying it, you're happy, you're improving, that it doesn't have to be the fastest possible, right? If you need 2 years instead of 6 months, Is that really so terrible? It's not that terrible, not if you can just relax and enjoy it. If you enjoy those 2 years, then it doesn't matter. So that's really great. Now, some people are just, that's just their personality. Faster, go, go, go. And that's fine, okay? I understand. Some things in my life, I'm not patient. I want to go fast. Improve. That's why I was that way with Effortless English and with business in general and like being an entrepreneur. A lot of entrepreneurs have that mindset. Go, 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 go all the time. It's fine because we're excited, okay? It's because we're excited and we want to see progress. But on the other hand, just steadily improving and being happy, enjoying the process, right, as you're doing it is also very, very important. I mean, there are times when my business is not growing, when it's not doing well, when maybe even it's going down some or has gone down some in the past. But I keep going anyway because I just love doing it. I enjoy the process of it. I love doing it. I love being an entrepreneur. It's fun. It's enjoyable. So in that way, I don't get too upset or stressed out if it's not faster, 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 right? And so I do recommend that. That's kind of the other side of this topic. On the one hand, I'm giving you all this good stuff, but if you can stay positive and feel good going a little bit slower, that's also fine. Don't feel pressure to go faster. It's you decide the speed, as long as you're enjoying it, feeling good, and you're making improvements, it's up to you. It's up to you how fast you want to go. Don't let anyone else push you saying you need to go faster. Or don't let anyone tell you need to go slower. Some of you might really be super excited and you just want to, 2 months, 3 months, every day, from when you wake up to when you go to bed, 12 hours, 15 hours of English every day. That's fine. As long as you're feeling good and you're staying positive and you're enjoying it, that's also fine. That's also fine. So remember, you're the boss. That's what's great about independent learning, right? Learning English independently, independent education. That's why I love it so much, because the student, you, the learner, you're the boss. You decide. I'm here just to help you and coach you. That's why I call myself a coach. I coach you, I try to give you motivation, make you feel good, all that, but you always make the decisions. You decide. You have the power. Okay, I already asked this question. I answered the question about my podcast. Okay, so these kind of questions are impossible for me to answer. But I'm going to read it just so I can explain why. So Mina again says, AJ, I need your advice. Which is the best topic, subject to study, I guess, in school, linguistics or civilization? Well, I don't know. I mean, they're both fine. They're both totally fine. It's just, what are you interested in? What do you love? What are you passionate about? What are you curious about? They both can be interesting. So yeah, yep. Follow the one where you're really going to be excited. The thing is, after you study, you go work usually. And if you get a full-time job, you're working 8 hours a day, 40 hours per week is kind of the normal work week, sometimes more. That's a lot of hours of your life. That's many, many hours of your day. In fact, that's the most hours of your day, probably, doing one thing. So you should like it, okay? You should like it. If you're not going to like it, in fact, I think you should love it. If you're not going to love it and enjoy it and be interested in it and be having a great time doing it, then you're probably doing the wrong thing. That's a lot of hours to be unhappy. That's a lot of hours to be bored. So you have to choose. That's why I cannot answer that question for anybody, because, what I love, you might not love. So you have to decide. Just like, I love being an entrepreneur, but I understand that some people don't. For some people, that's not a good thing. And for some people, it is. But I'm happy to get you excited about it and to think about it and to consider it, but finally you must decide. You must decide about all these things. Okay, I already read that one. Sorry, keep going. We're just reading through the comments here. Oh, from Thailand. Okay, just saying, good. Just want to say, so hello, I am John Priya from Thailand. I found something interesting here. I started following you. It's an interesting, frank talk. Well, thank you. I'm just, speaking as honestly to you as I can about these topics. I don't know. I'm always confused about why, so many, like in the schools, they just don't talk about these things. And yet they're so important. They're so important. Everybody's asking about my social media, so I'm going to tell you all my social media. Okay, so Hayden Van is saying, do you have Facebook? I want to follow you on Facebook. I don't have Twitter. Okay, yes, I have Facebook and I have Instagram. So Facebook, my Facebook is Effortless English. Effortless English together, all together, no space. Effortless English on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Effortless English Club. So Effortless English Club, all together, no spaces. On Instagram, Effortless English Club. So you can follow me on either one. Recently, I just joined Instagram. Just this week, I joined Instagram. So I'm new on Instagram. There are a lot of fake accounts pretending to be me. So be sure to get the right one, Effortless English Club. You'll see recent video. I make videos each day. I do photos. You'll see a couple photos of some bugs, like a caterpillar and a beetle. That's how you know it's my correct one. I talk about the bugs in my podcast. That's why I have the pictures. So on my Instagram, a lot of times I'll try to take pictures of things that I'm talking about in my audio podcast. So like I said, in my audio podcast, it's very casual. So I talk about daily, everyday stuff. And like I talked about bicycles one time, bicycle riding here in Japan. And so I was describing a kind of style of bicycle in Japan that's popular. So then the next day, I took a picture of one of those bikes for Instagram. So if you're listening to my podcast, you know about the topic of bicycles, then you go to my Instagram and you can see a picture of what I was talking about. So the Instagram connects to the audio podcast often. Like yesterday, I did an audio podcast about my nephew. He's collecting bugs, different bugs. And so today I took pictures of his bugs and I put them on my Instagram. So that's kind of a cool way. If you listen to my audio podcast, when you listen to my audio podcast, also follow me on Instagram because you can get some pictures and short videos that connect to the topics. So again, my Instagram is Effortless English Club. Effortless English Club. All three, Effortless English Club on Instagram. Facebook, just Effortless English. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Ali Raza. This will be our last comment for today. Sir, I now have my own business. I've also bought many company shares, so investing also. Also work to drop shopping. It's all possible because I can speak English. Oh, thanks a lot for your course. Well, fantastic. Great. Well, Ali, that's great. You're combining my two favorite things, English and being an entrepreneur. So that's really fantastic. I like it when you share your success stories like that. It motivates me because then I know, well, I'm helping people and this is good. And it makes me want to keep doing the shows and keep doing the podcast and lessons and all of that. So that's a great success story. So because of English, he has his own business. Obviously, he's using English in his business. He's been investing, so buying shares of stock with his extra money, making even more money from that, being more financially free. And apparently English has helped him do that also. So fantastic. And that's one thing. If you are kind of an entrepreneur type of person, English can help a lot because it can help you have a more international business, even if it's a small business or one person, even if you're just selling things on eBay, which I talked about in one of my recent shows. That's a great way to start. Just selling stuff on eBay. If you can write English and speak English, then you can sell internationally whatever you're selling on eBay. That's much better than just your own country. That's the whole world. So English can open up the world for you. And that's part of dreaming big and thinking of those big goals. So you get that high energy and that enthusiasm. Remember the fuel, the gasoline. That comes from you feeding your motivation, feeding your positive energy, feeding your enthusiasm. I'm going to talk more about this week in the shows that are coming. I just want to say thank you for joining me today. As always, join my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com, effortlessenglishclub.com. Lots of love to you, and I'll see you next time.